I'll pull up the main menu so you can get a look at it here. It's also quite pretty. It's not unlike what we've seen on Verizon devices in the past, but it has a really cool kind of look to it, and all very, I don't know, somehow eco-friendly, very organic, trees and flowers and that kind of thing. It's really a good-looking theme here. We can change the theme, but changing the theme is going to disable the wallpaper. I mean, it's going to disable the habitat mode that we've been enjoying. But we're going to show you just what it looks like anyway. So now you can see this is a much more traditional looking theme for Verizon. In this case, so you can see the map in the background made up of the little dots. Kind of cool, but it's definitely nowhere near as interesting as the habitat mode. There are, of course, other themes as well, but if we go back a bit, there are separate settings for habitat. We can turn it back on, and then we can set which key we'd like to activate it with, and by default it's the down key. And you can see now that habitat's turned back on, we've lost the other theme settings completely, and since we've not made any phone calls or received any messages or anything like that from other contacts, there's nothing showing here yet. If we were to have another call come in, we'd see maybe John Doe's picture come back up. Another feature we're seeing on the Intrigue here is the channels. If we hit up on the D-pad, it loads the Verizon channels view. You can see we can scroll through and look at channels, and I'm going to go to the weather one because that's always interesting. Can look at weather in different places. This is my local area here. I can move to the right on the D-pad and see the forecast for the upcoming days. Very cool stuff in general. It's kind of reminds me of CellTop from Altel, which the vast majority of which has been purchased by Verizon at this point. And of course, there are always the Verizon ways for spending money, so you can buy tones, games, get music news, regular news. It's not the best quality text in the world when you're looking at the news, but it is decent. It's a little, I don't know, rough looking, I guess, at times, but it's not really bad. It's nothing it's really gonna bother you. It's just something I noticed. But in general, the channels add-in is quite useful. I'm going to load up the camera quickly just so you can see. It's a 2 megapixel camera. You can see the lens down here, so you have to kind of watch where you put your hands. In general, it's not a bad system though. You can see the resolution's at 1600 by 1200. You can change a number of settings, white balance, shutter sound. You can see that you can actually turn it off too. So press the button here in the center of the D-pad to take the picture. And there it is. Of course, you can send it off somebody, or you can just save it. If you long press the button down here, the camcorder button, it'll switch modes. So now you can see we're in video mode. You can turn the video light on if we like. Press again the button, start. We're recording. Press it again to stop. And we've just recorded a video. In terms of other hardware features, of course we've got a 2.5mm headset port, volume control. There is a micro USB port here for charging. In the back we have a micro SD card slot. Verizon claims that the card slot's good for cards as large as 8 gigabytes in capacity, but chances are pretty good that it'll work with larger ones too when you get one of those, just because the standard supports it. Very slick package. Overall, very pleased with this effort from Nokia for Verizon, and I think it's going to be a good seller for them. So this is the Nokia 7205 Intrigue for Verizon Wireless, and I'm Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com.